Not present. Ms. Donna Kerner.
Present.
Ms. Leah Burge. Here. Ms. Caroline Shamshi-Basha.
Present.
Mr. Drew Bartlett.
I'm here, present, virtually.
Ms. Ann Fairfax.
Present.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do you have any additions, deletions, or reorderings for tonight's agenda? Okay. Now we're going to have public comment on non-agenda items. If you'd like to make a public comment, please come to the guidance. The podium. Now, if you will please review our minutes from October 8th, 2024, and I'm looking for a motion to approve. I'll make a motion to approve. Anyone see any changes they'd like to make? All in favor? Aye. We're ready for our presentations, and we're going to start with W. Moda, Renee Miller.
If you don't mind, Ms. Blossom, I'm just going to give a quick update on where we are with things with the city, because I know some of the things that are involved in this aren't necessarily all with WMODA, but with the city and the CRA as well. So I just wanted to let everybody know that WMODA, United and Community Sustainability here at the city are meeting starting this week to plan on bringing back a modified and improved design. Making certain the final design meets all historic and thoroughfare guidelines as well as the LDRs, so no variances are needed. And we can expect to see those improved designs no later than probably later this year or early next year. Also, the city, CRA, and WMODA are working on the house moving plan. We do have some numbers and we do have some estimates. We're waiting for a few more. Before the final plan is off and running, we will come back with a list of expenditures that we plan to encumber prior to moving, just for the board and the city to see before we move forward. And finally, the city and WGI are finalizing the parking study and integrating it with the mobility plan. They plan to present to the commission, in early December, and that meeting will be December 3rd. Now to Renee.
Thank you, Joan. Good evening, Chair and members of the CRA board. I hope you can hear me okay this evening.
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. Just allow me to. Okay. Are you able to see the presentation on the screen? Yes? Okay, fantastic. Good evening, everyone. We have been working as we have prior to our ability to move through the development agreement and purchase and sale agreement and our workshops that we've had in the month of October. Currently, we are working through the 4 additional agreements that we mentioned when we've been talking about all of the formal documents that are required in order to effectuate this redevelopment project. We are doing that in tandem with working with the CRA and the city to tweak the design, as well as figure out all of the details that are required for the relocation of the 4 contributing structures. But just as a reminder, the 4 agreements that we will be working on in this next 90-day period will be, of course, the K Street construction, the K Street Garage construction agreement, which is also referred to as the comprehensive agreement, that was spoken about by the city attorney in the meeting on October 29th. We are also going to be working on a separate agreement for the contributing structure relocation, the long-term parking agreement, as well as the long-term maintenance agreement for the parking. While we are doing all of that, we are engaging in due diligence that's required in our due diligence period that spans this 90 days as well. But as we all know, we have committed to working very closely with the city on tweaking the design with an eye towards honoring the existing code for the major thoroughfare guidelines, historic preservation guidelines, and all of the major site plan conditions that are required within the LDR. And we are working with the city on that as we speak. What does that look like in relationship to the critical path that is in the documents that have been signed? We are now officially at step 1, which is the inspection period phase. What happens during the inspection period phase is, of course, all of the additional inspections and title reviews that you would think in a regular inspection phase, but we are also engaging in the negotiation of those 4 agreements, as well as the updates to the design that we discussed. Just as a reminder, we continue to work with our partners at Chihuly Studios. I just happened to be in Minnesota, so you can see the glass chandeliers by Dale Chihuly. I was awestruck. These are 6,000-pound special installations made for this institution. And I just thought they were breathtaking, so I wanted to share a little excitement about what will come in our museum as well. And that completes my presentation. And of course, I'm here at the pleasure of the board to answer any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for Renee?
I do. This inspection period, hi Renee.
Hello.
When you say inspection, can you be a little more specific? Does this mean like infrastructure inspection, site inspection, doing site surveys, site analysis? I don't know. What is the inspection?
The inspection period is really a legal terminology, but we have allowed for.
Would you like me to respond?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you.
David Tolsis, General Counsel for the CRA. So the inspection period is associated with the purchase and sale agreement. So typically in an inspection period, you'll provide for title searches, you'll be doing inspections of properties, environmental assessments, doing your due diligence to make sure that the party who is selling you the property has the ability to sell you the property and that there aren't any issues with the real property that will come up after you close. So the W Motor folks are in the process of conducting that inspection and due diligence this time.
Does that include like engineering, analysis, site,
I mean, they can come in and let us know if they if they want to do boring studies and those kinds of things to see what's underneath.
Okay, great.
Much of that has already been done in order for us to get to the point in the design that we're at this time.
Is this a good time to talk about the design period, which I'm kind of gathering feedback from people who are calling me or having dinner with me or twisting my arm about the design. And you had mentioned, Renee, that you're going to come back towards the end of this year or the beginning of this year. When you say coming back, is there a time period where the public can have public comment on the design?
No, there's a time period where the public will have public comment on the design as per the code for the city. So what we have built into our process and the development agreements that have been signed is that we are, as we've said, required to go through all of the requisite processes that any major development will go through. That is the process that we will follow. So per our critical path, we are required to make a site plan application. That site plan application will happen in the first quarter of next year. Well, maybe the first quarter or the early second quarter of next year. And that will go to the Historic Preservation Board, and then it will go to the City Commission as per what is required in the code for this kind of site plan review. So the community will have an opportunity to be noticed and to attend those public hearings and then make comment on the design as in any other major development.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Our next presentation. Going to have our next presentation.
Sorry.
Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. If you'd bear with us for just a few moments, we're experiencing some technical difficulties, and we'd really like to show you a video of the event.
Yeah, I mean, give it the old college try, sure.
My name is Betty Resch, and I'm the proud mayor of this wonderful city of Lake Worth Beach. We're here today celebrating the Day of the Dead, and we are so glad to have an all-inclusive, welcoming, diverse community and to celebrate everybody. This is what brings out the community. This is what makes us such a special place. Thank you. I'm a teacher. I done it in a high school. And students are doing the face painting are students from the John Island High School. And they were trained to become face painters for the other workers.
Really was a good time.
We did that on purpose, so you have to go to the same YouTube site.
This will be live on YouTube, and I'll definitely share it with the board in a few days. But tonight, we just wanted to come before you and thank a few of our star volunteers and obviously the CRA, Joan, Chris, Mona, the CRA board. Thank you for those that volunteered. Many of you have sponsored this event for years. Our city manager, who's worked with us every step of the way, the city commission, our mayor, who, as you see, led many of the good witches in the parade, Nina, Joseph, and Brian from Public Services. We could have not completed this event without their help. big thank you to them. Brian, if you're listening, you are my forever MVP. The sponsors, to all of the sponsors who trust us every year to put on something like this and give so generously, we're so grateful to them. To Jose Mendez, who helped take on the gallery space and worked on a lot of the entertainment this year. And last but definitely not least, our star volunteers. Some of these volunteers have been helping Jose probably for the last 8 or 9 years. I'd like to call each of you up, and then if you'd like, we'd like to take a photo at the end. Carla, if you don't mind coming down. Carla Rodas Pena. Jasmine Flores. Caroline Ramos. Ana Gonzalez. Miss Mary Lindsay. And our fabulous librarian, Cindy Ansel. She's been with us at and last but not least, we typically don't recognize staff, but I'd like to take a moment to recognize Susan Brown. She's been working tirelessly on this event in the gallery, fixing things that didn't look right and really being meticulous. She spent a lot of late nights on this, and I just want to take a moment to recognize the person who takes the photos. Susan, stand up. We all get together and take a photo. We thank you very much for all of your help over the last couple of years. Jose, you want to come up with a photo?
Shy.
Say, can't get out of it. I'm gonna get the photo. I'm even here.
I don't know what's in here. And Carl, if I could just follow that up, I know you all know this, but maybe some people in the public don't know it, that Day of the Dead is actually put on by our nonprofit foundation, the Cultural Renaissance Foundation. And Chris, Emily, and Susan are not paid extra to do all the extra work they do to make this wonderful community event happen. And next year is going to be our 10th year. So I just wanted to take an opportunity to thank them, because we're talking early mornings, late nights, and weekends that they put in out of their own time volunteering to make this wonderful community event happen. So thank you guys so much for all that you guys do.
On a consent agenda, you do the motion separately for A and then B.
You just do them all together. Yeah, just one motion to approve the consent agenda.
No, so I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Do I need to read out each one of them? Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Who is this? Other?
Caroline.
Yeah.
I didn't say it, I was going to.
All right, so you had a motion, a second, and all in favor.
Aye.
Thank you.
For an action agenda, Lake Work Station, public infrastructure grant request. Chris, thank you.
That's me. For the record, Chris Bros, Lakewood CRA, grant applications for commercial developers, commercial small businesses has reopened as of middle of October. We already received our first grant application. This is for a public infrastructure grant. This is for the project located at 930 North G Street, on the corner of G Street and 10th Avenue North, known as Lake Worth Station. It's going to be 91 units. rental complex with some mixed use on the bottom, commercial office space on the bottom. Also, green space along the west side of G Street with extra parking. A linear park or pathway along the railroad tracks. Most of the units, majority of the units are going to be for affordable housing or workforce housing, thanks to the Palm Beach County's workforce housing program. The applicant did come in and provide an application last month requesting $200,000 in funding from the CRA to assist with the public infrastructure improvements along the new linear park pathway on the west side of G Street. The developer is just me. The developer is Bridge Holding LLC, represented by Ricardo Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez is here in the meeting to answer any questions you may have. It's a roughly $225 million project, all in all for the entire project. And the request is for $200,000. Staff recommendation is because you met all the, he does qualify for the grant, the applicant does qualify to approve the $200,000 grants with the condition to make some improvements to the existing decorative features that are out there. If you have any questions, Mr. Hernandez is here, or any questions for myself, that concludes my presentation.
We have a motion and a second. And or would you like to ask any questions first? We can do either one. Okay,
Do you know what it looks like?
I beg your
Do
pardon.
we know what it looks like?
Do we know what it looks like?
Does,
Yes, there's in the back. There
Oh,
are
the
many
back.
conditions. So it looks like this. But it's not holding in suspense. Why don't we ask our questions? So then we'll make our motion.
Okay, I'm gonna start with questions then. So no suspense here. So, I appreciate everything that you submitted. Don't worry, I'm not gonna grill you, but I just really want some information. So exhibit B, sorry, I got bad eyes, but it's also teeny weeny. So the questions that I have, really, it's about specifically, you mentioned here on the legend, small, medium, and large trees. And I'm just wondering, and also, large palm, small palm, hedge, shrubs, and ground covers. Facade, I know what facade is, but it would really be helpful if you could specify. And we'd also love you to use native as much as you can, native shade trees. And the same with pretty much everything as much as you can, small, medium, large shade trees. So it would be helpful to get a list of all the things that you're planning to use to plant. And also if you could just say maybe what you have in mind and where you're going to procure it from. And if you could provide that list to Community Sustainability, and also the Lake Worth Beach Tree and Landscape Board meets every month on Thursday, and we have 2 advisors right now who are kind of in lieu of the person who was the main tree board advisor, but he recently left. So it would really be great if you could provide that information.
Yeah.
Thank
Hello, how are you? Sorry, I was late, but I was trapped in the door. Nobody was answering the phone, so I was there for 10, 15 minutes. So we have a complete landscaping project that I'm sorry, my name is Ricardo Hernandez, developer of Labor Station. There is a landscaping project included in the package that we submitted to the city, and the list of everything that we are planting over there is in that project, including that project. Let me explain you a little bit about the park, why the park. When we presented the project for site plan approval 2 years ago, there were some concerns about taking down all the trees that there are on the property at the current moment. Apparently, that property has been vacant for 20 years, and everything is grown and mature over there. So the idea in the first meeting, in the first public hearing, was to create a park where we can take out existing species that we have in the main lot and transplant the species in the park. And that is what we are doing, with the majority of the grown trees over there. We're going to transplant those trees to the main park. So we're going to have new species, of course, but the majority of them are just saving the trees in the main road to the park.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that because we were actually part of that first meeting when you presented and I think a number of us pointed out that these were really mature trees, we said, but also native trees that don't exist anywhere else. So it's an intact hammock. So do you specify all of that? Because here on the legend, it just says number of existing trees to remain or to be relocated. Is that all in the plan?
Yes.
Is that something that we as the board could get?
It's within the city package.
Okay,
Ricardo, has it been approved?
Well, I'm currently it's approved, but I'm currently in the process of paying the impact fees to the county.
Okay.
After I pay that, I have to submit the payment to the city and basically they are gonna, give me the approval,
Yeah.
the final approval.
Well, you get the permits, right?
Yeah.
But you've already gone to city commission and gotten it.
No,
approved?
no.
No, you haven't yet.
We got site plan approved 2 years ago.
Oh.
We filed construction documents in December last year. And apparently they are ready to pick up, so I'm paying the impact fees with the county, this month. That's what I'm doing right now. Yes.
Okay, so we'll get those and send them.
so thank you.
Are you in agreement with the additional conditions regarding the maintenance of the?
Yeah. I wanna add something over here. When this project was approved, we were only providing 39 workforce housing units. Now we're providing 78, so double. And we have a lot in the low income and middle income brackets. So this is good for everybody here.
I drive to that area almost every day, and to add that many units, do you think that there is adequate parking in that will be able to accommodate that many units because it's not such a large space?
We have parking on the main entrance. We discussed that, a lot. The public hearings is through G Street, not to 10th Street. So everything is gonna be through G Street, which is low traffic at this moment. So everything is gonna go through that street to the project. We have parking inside the property and we have parking along the park, which is gonna use mainly at night and during the day, people visiting the park and can park over there.
Just to follow up on that question and appreciate it. How many parking spaces will they be envisioning inside the park then?
In the park, I think there are 30 or 20, 30, I don't have the numbers on the top of my head. But it's in compliance with the code, so we didn't need any special permit or whatever, it's within the code, the number of parking that we are providing.
Thank you.
Public infrastructure grant, the amount of $200,000 for children policy. Along with the condition that you would repair and maintain the existing neighborhood customs, so all of it is in the green space on G Street and Competitive Park. And do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Public comment? I got it. Does anyone
I
have
said
a
aye.
comment on this issue? Andrew?
I said aye.
He said aye. He said aye. He was voting already.
Oh, no, I wanted to know, did he have a comment? I'm sorry, Drew.
I know I don't. I'm fine, Chairman.
Okay. All right, that passes unanimously, I believe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's a great question. Just a vacant lot now.
Been a lot for 20 years.
Yeah.
So in improvement, but we're certainly pleased that you're putting housing, in, especially workforce housing. Executive Director's report, Jen.
Thank you, Chairwoman Blackson. I have a progress report that we typed up that includes all of the things that all the different staff members are working on. It's about a 5-page report. It's in your packet. Some of the things just to touch upon. Village Flats has its permit for phase 1. Doesn't have it for phase 2 or 3 yet, but the next deadline is November 30th. So we're hopeful that they meet that deadline. Excuse me. We're doing some promotions for Shop Small. I think some of this stuff is up in the days. We will be doing it in different languages. We will also be including information about the circuit, and we will also be including information about the village, the spaces that are available over at the Bohemian Garage. We had a slight uptick in our circuit ridership this month. There's also some information up there for you, how it's been performing over the last few months. We expect obviously to have more riders go now that season is back in. We have several different grants going on right now, and thank you to staff for always being willing to apply. We have grant contention for a number of those. And finally, the affordable housing projects that we have going on with Community Land Trust, Habitat, and Community Partners is going really well. We probably have about 20 to 30 properties in play right now. So we're meeting with them actually tomorrow and divvying up who gets what and who can build the most number, who can build, more units, depending on the lot where it is in our area. I think that's about it. Thank you.
Gonna move on to board member comments.
Thank you for a good and easy meeting. And also seriously, thanks for the work on the other process. I attended a bit, my leg was preventing me from walking, but it was great to see it for the short time that I did. Lots of great energy, and I look forward to seeing the video on YouTube.
No comment, thank you. Nope.
Let's try to miss the event out of town. That was a fantastic time on the board video. I continue to appreciate Renee and the WMOTA team for their monthly updates. We have a lot of exciting things in store. This feels eerily early for our meeting. So, are you sure that was the totality of the agenda? I feel like this is late tonight, and I'm not sure what's in store. There's always next one thing. I had. Sure. Drew? Drew, can you hear me?
Tell him he's muted. Tell him
There
he's
we
muted.
go. There we go.
Do you have any comments?
Yeah, so Dia de los Muertes, what a lot of fun. I felt the energy was really high, and Emily, you were working so hard, and so it was just a great success, and congratulations. Just a ton of fun. And otherwise, it is very exciting to hear 97 affordable units coming to the town. So again, another CRA board meeting, another inclusion of more affordable housing. So totally appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. That's all I got.
A couple of things that are coming up. I don't know if you're aware, but I also serve on the Salvation Army board for the city for the Lake Worth Corps. And we had not been able to have a bell ringing season last year due to unforeseen circumstances. But what that means is that the $70,000 that we normally raise to go for seed money during a year, we don't have that. And they've been struggling since January to do many projects because we lack that seed money. So this year, we're trying to get as many people as possible to volunteer to be bell ringers. And I gave you a form. The bell ringing dates is from November 30th through December 24th. You can ring anytime from 10 to 7. It's 2-hour shifts are available. We're asking people to ring at Publix, Walmart. There are other places in the community. This form that we have, and you can contact the Salvation Army, and there's a phone number and an email address. And if you wanted to just sign up to be a bell ringer, you could fill this out on the back. We're trying to post them. I'm going to see if the Lake Worth Herald will let us have an ad for people to sign up. I cannot stress how critical it is that they had money. They just had a thing for Halloween, and naturally it wasn't called Halloween, but fall harvest. And they gave away so much candy, and so many kids came, and it was a lot of kids that were really in need of a nice night. They had games, they had the gym open, and they're doing a lot of good things. But they would also plan to open a $600,000 park behind the Salvation Army later this year or later next year. And we can't do it without public help. public enthusiasm. So if any of you would be willing to be a bell ringer, I'd appreciate it. If you contact me, I will certainly send you in the right direction. Also, this Saturday, the NAPC is having the food drive. During Thanksgiving, many of our elementary school kids especially do not have food to eat because they get their breakfast and their lunch and a snack at school. So what the NAPC does every year is they have a food drive at the Cultural Plaza. It's this Saturday from 2 to 5 on the 16th. And we're asking people to come out. There's musical selections from area students. There's a cornhole competition. There's a pie eating contest. And it's just 2 to 5. But if you want to drop off any canned goods or just come out and visit, I'll be there with the sign up sheet for the Salvation Army. But it's really a nice event. And they're giving away free hot dogs and drinks. But more importantly, it's a chance for you just to get together in the afternoon and see your neighbors. So if you're free this Saturday, please join us at the Cultural Plaza. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Sorry, can I add one more thing? I just wanted to remind everybody that the city is collecting toys for adoptive families. Thank you, Leah, so much for bringing them so early.
Out of town.
We really appreciate that. So if anybody would like to drop any off, you can certainly do it here at City Hall. You can always bring them to us and we'll make sure that they get to adopt a family. So thank you again. And for the Salvation Army thing, if you have that in a digital format, we can post it on our Facebook page.
Give it to you tomorrow. And one of the things the Salvation Army did this year is they adopted 50 children from the city of Lake Worth Beach to go on the Angel Tree. And that's a first. Usually our kids are not, it's a complicated process. And so this year we were able to encourage more families to participate. And I'm sure that they'll be very happy on December 18th when we give them all their toys. Thank you. And I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you.